Hi, it's my record release day. It is Friday, the 3rd of May. And I've got a new record that came out at midnight. It's called You Only Live Always, and I'm very proud of it. Wanted to talk about the title track, You Only Live Always, and some production stuff that we borrowed to make that happen from other recordings. You know, we didn't really set out to do that. It just kind of happened that way. But the last chord, I kind of borrowed it, and it's a nod to a song called Tokyo Nightclub by a couple of Japanese artists singing a duet, and those artists being Frank Nagai and Kazuko Matsuo. Like I said, the song's called Tokyo Nightclub. And I had Catherine Marks. I was fortunate enough to work with the great pianist Catherine Marks on this record, and she played on more songs than she didn't play on it. And I wanted her to slide into that last chord, and so that's what she does. And you can hear a very similar thing on Tokyo Nightclub, the piano slide, and then the chord being a really similar chord, but it's played with horns, and just a nod to that whole thing. And then, I grew up with country music, and so tango is not really kind of in my wheelhouse too much, but I borrowed the tango feel from from a song by the great French artist Léo Ferré. He put out a song in the mid-'60s called Le Temps de Tango, The Time of Tango. And in his recording, there's this kind of crazy, eerie sounding instrument. I guess it's maybe a violin. And we got Brett Resnick to do something sort of similar on this song, You Only Live Always. It ended up getting muted in the final mix in favor of the song being a little bit more piano heavy. But you can kind of hear Brett's steel part coming through the wall. And I thought that was something kind of cool. So if you listen close, especially on the third verse, when things kind of break down and get quiet, you can hear Brett's steel coming through the wall. The whole thing was cut live. I'd never really sung live before on a recording. And so the only overdubs on that song were the strings and the harmony. And let's see, the last thing in terms of production, really just more of an arrangement thing. I borrowed the from the cello part of Bizet's opera Carmen, Act 1, and it's a pretty famous part, the thing that goes. That, borrowed from that. So, yeah, that's it. And if you're going to check that out, I recommend the Marie Callas version with the orchestra, and I think it's with the London Symphony Orchestra, and then the choir singing with her on that is unbelievable. It's really a great performance. So that's all the stuff, in terms of subject matter, and all that, that's I was kind of banging my head against the chorus there for a while, a couple of years ago, and I was at the Ola Nola Festival in Santiago de Compostela, hanging out with some friends from New Orleans, and hanging out with Gina Leslie and Max Biancon and his then fiance, now wife, Mick Grantham. And Mick is a great short story writer and just had a fantastic suggestion about how I could sort of find my way to saying what I was really trying to say. Without that suggestion, that song might still be on the pile, very likely, so I'm grateful for that piece of advice about that. And now it's the title track to the record, and appreciate y'all tuning in. And yeah, appreciate it a lot. See you down the line. Cheers.